and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay, consent items, number 2, number 3, and number 4. There is a P at the end of the Z at the end of the P. And those do not belong in the file, so we're making a note of that. Okay, now we're going to open up public hearings.
Do we approve the consent?
Oh, yes,
agenda?
we got to do the consent.
So I'll move that we approve the consent agenda with the edit to the Z on 2, 3, and 4.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And the minutes from last meeting, we need to approve those.
I move to approve those.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, public hearings, case file number 2023-19-Z. Consider a request by Border Engine Rebuilders and Diesel Services applicant for a zone change from FD Future Development District to LI Light Industrial Districts on lot 1, 2, 3, and block 3. Dovecote Industrial Park being 19.52 acres of land in section 36, block 42, T-2-STMP Railroad Company Survey, Ector County, Texas, generally located on the west side of South Meadow and approximately 50 feet south of Production Street.
Okay.
Thank you. Jeff Fisher, Policy Manager with the Planning Division. Nice to see everybody today. So our first case on public hearings, this is a zone change. It was annexed into the city as a future development block, and now they're changing it. They're three platted lots. They're changing it to light industrial district. There's currently a building on the property, and the purpose of the change is to allow a repair shop. And so light industrial, that use is allowed. And that's pretty much the situation. So these are looking at some of the pictures on Meadows Avenue facing northeast, and then facing southwest, and then at the intersection, and then Interstate 20 side. Any questions or comments? Staff is recommending approval.
Any questions for staff? This is a public hearing. If you have any comments, pro or con, please come forward, state your name, and make your comments. Do we have a motion?
I move to approve case file number 2023-19-Z.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Case file number 2023-05 SUP. Consider a request by Ryan Rowe for specific use permit on lots 13 through 16, block 2, college campus, in addition to the city of Odessa, being .3214 acre tract of land, city of Odessa, Ector County, Texas, generally located on the east side of North Grant, approximately 90 feet south of 15th Street.
Okay, thank you, commissioners. So our next case today, this is for a special use permit to allow a repair and rebuilding garage, and so the auto body is only allowed with an SUP in the light industrial district, and so, or excuse me, the light commercial district. So this was an auto body shop before. You Google it, you drive by, you'll see a sign there. My understanding that
I'm sorry, not to interrupt you guys, but for the previous one, you didn't open it up to the public?
He did.
Oh, he did? Okay.
He did, yeah.
Sorry.
He did, yeah. He opened it up, yeah.
So with this one, it was an auto body shop before, but believe that occupancy was no longer there, so it stayed vacant for a long time. So now there's a new
Company
business owner
surveying
that's
Lake
trying to
County,
open,
Texas, generally
again,
located on the west
do
side of
something very
South
similar.
Meadow
And so
and
because of
approximately
that,
50
it
feet
triggered us
south
coming
of
back here.
Production Street.
Based on the proposal, the floor area inside the building, it's already no changes to the outside of the building, so it's 6,000 square feet as it is with the shelf space. They've got 5 vehicle parking spaces on the property. They need 6, but they've got an extra area of pavement that they can stripe more parking if they need to. So staff is in support of this request. We do feel that it fits, but given that there's a church and a daycare behind it, even though that use was already there, staff believe we wanted to be sensitive to those, to the church and the daycare. And so we are recommending approval, but we have some conditions. And so you can see those on the screen if you go back one. So the 6 vehicle parking spots. So they can do all this administratively. They don't have to come back here. They can submit to the planning manager, and through the site plan that they have to submit anyway, they can show all these conditions. So one is show the 6th parking spot. Any wrecked and dismantled vehicles that they're storing outside need to be behind a screening fence. 3, the storage yard screening fence will need to be 8 feet tall. So next to the alley where they're facing the church and the school, they'll have to put a fence there, and that'll give some more buffering there during the day when they're the school's in operation. Building will need to meet all fire building, electrical, mechanical requirements, which they will. Any signage needs to meet the ordinance. Hours of operation will be limited from 8 to 6, Monday to Saturday, and then all that can be adopted through 8 through the site plan. And then 9 is just, again, just given the surrounding area, if there ever was a large volume of complaints or something, this would give us the authority to terminate the conditions of the permit. But as long as they're in good standing and sound like good business owners, we're definitely in support of the request. And that concludes our presentation, excuse me.
Do you know if there's a fence along the alley?
There's not right now, no.
Okay, so apparently we may have approved this previously without the fence.
Yeah, and
I think this came a long time ago,
I think so too. I think it was there so long ago, it either was before zoning or before we had that requirement for the fence. Something must have happened, so.
Good idea, but
And just a question, because also,
Yes.
if you've ever been around businesses like this, and people having to pick up their automobile, sometimes they may be there after 6.
That's what I was thinking, is that too early?
And is there gonna be some special consideration where they won't be punished or docked for that? I think because, sometimes when the customers are late, they're gonna have to wait until they come. They may be there a little bit longer than 6 o'clock just for customers to pick up their cars. That
Sure.
shouldn't be an issue, right?
Yeah, and that's something we're open to, and I think if the owners are here and they want to come up and speak on that, we certainly could be flexible in that regard. I think our planning manager may have had some previous discussions with them, but that's certainly something we're open to.
Okay, this is a public hearing. If anybody has any comments, they can come forward now, state your name and make comments.
I'm Chris Zapata, one of the owners.
Raymond Roca, the other owner.
So we don't have a fence there yet on the alley, but we're being told we may need one with the church there and daycare. So we have guys ready to put a fence there, ready to put a fence on the front side. Whatever we have to do on our end, we will do.
What about that time, the 6 o'clock, is that sufficient?
If that's what we have to do.
We can work with that. I mean, we can always schedule it for the next day or earlier time. I don't see 6 o'clock being a problem.
Just gonna say, do you think there might be cases like one gentleman saying where it might stay a little bit longer during the week or something? Just this would be a good opportunity for you.
So we have a body shop now. We have customers that pick up 10 o'clock sometimes, but that's just because we're
'Cause it
young.
works later, yeah.
Yeah, we're young. We don't care. We stay there late. But we can schedule for it next day. It's not like we have to be there at 10 to have them pick their car up.
Well, my thing is that if the customer doesn't show up until 6:30, that should be okay.
Yeah, it should be later. There shouldn't
be
be a
better,
time,
you
it could be,
know.
we could go later. We could go You can go as late as you need, right? Is there time?
You should still be okay as long as.
10, 8, 10?
You should be okay as long as you're
10,
not
yeah.
out there with, you know, with
Too late.
your
It's-
hammer
there
drill
shouldn't be
making
a-
all
yeah,
sorts of noise.
there
But
should be
if
a
they're just
noise,
picking up
yeah.
cars after 6:30, that should be an okay
Okay.
item with you guys.
Yes, sir.
And with the people that live around you.
The problem is the noise. They don't want you to have
Right,
a, yeah,
we have
the problem is the
compressors and
noise.
everything going, so,
Yeah.
I mean, we kept that in mind, so we're not trying to be there late and cause problems.
Yeah, the problem is the noise.
But as far as you scheduling for people to pick up their cars, like, there should not be any problem.
Yes, sir.
Issue that I can see.
You just gotta remember the noise.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Is there any other comment?
What is this, talking about the signs meeting the ordinance? I mean, I look at this, that's just a piece of canvas that's flopped down. Is that, I don't know how current the Google map is, but I don't need a rundown of the sign ordinance, but what are we gonna ask them to do?
At this point, nothing. That sign would have already been out there. It just means that they're probably gonna, at some point, they'll want a new sign for their new business, in which case they would just come in and get a permit, that's all. And at that point, we would just review the sign, make sure that it meets the code. This is our
For
expert right
something
here.
like this, so anytime it's a banner, it's only a 30-day requirement that's up there. It is an existing sign that it's not being used at the moment. But if you do see a banner, it's a 30-day requirement notice. Okay?
Or like a portable sign's like 2 months, right? Yeah.
Any other comment? We have a motion.
Move for approval as presented by staff.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution passes. Case file number 2023-97-P, motion approving with staff recommending conditions for proposed short form plat being a replat of 144.28 square feet in lot 14 and all lots 15 and 16, block 44A, Herbert and Wright addition being a total of .263 acres located in section 28, block 42, T-2-S, T&P Railroad Company surveyed, City of Odessa, X County, Texas, generally located on the northeast corner of the intersection of Goder Avenue and 11th Street.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. So I actually ended up having a situation just right before we started in where the owner didn't know that her property was being replatted into one lot. So what happened with this property was that she started doing a small remodel because of, she wanted to update with her house with some handicap accessibility. Well, the contractor accidentally ended up tearing the whole house down.
What?
So now, and she had an in-law unit in the back. So they were trying to figure out if they were going to continue on. So let me just ask them if we're continuing on or if they're withdrawing their application right now. So are we continuing or are we withdrawing? You want to continue? Yes. Okay. Okay, so therefore, the applicant is requesting to combine these two zones for what I just explained, that her house got accidentally torn down. So in order for them to be able to rebuild it, we need to put it all into one lot. So that's the purpose of replatting it into one lot. We did route it out. There was no objections, and therefore staff is recommending approval of this replat.
Okay, do we have a motion?
Which item is this?
This is 2023. I move to approve 2023-97-P.
Number 7 here.
Second.
Okay.
Right. Second.
Second.
All those approve?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Case file number 2023-107-P, a motion approving with staff recommended conditions for proposed replat of lots 4 and 5, block 4, Bella Vista addition, being .48 acres located in section 9, block 41, T-2-S, T&P Railroad Company survey, City of Odessa, Midland County, generally located on the north side of Buena Vista Circle, approximately 175 feet south of Bella Noche Drive.
Thank you again. The applicant, being SW Howell, is requesting, again, to replat 2 lots into 1 for ownership purpose. We did route it out to everyone at our city departments. We had no objections, therefore staff is recommending approval of this replat.
Do we have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank
Any
you.
other business?
That's it, thank you.
Okay, we are adjourned.
Gotta build a big one there, I guess.
Yeah, I give you, bigger.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a few houses in there.
I know.
I can't believe
Been empty
that
forever.
never took off.
Um,
Yeah, look at that